You know what, guys? I almost broke my body, but I did it just for you, my toilet people. Hey yo, I promise you I'll make a video about my first feature screenplay. Why? Simply because writing is my passion, and let me share my story. But you know what, before I share my first feature screenplay story, let me take you back to where it first started. I call this story Boy Meets Girl. Once upon a depressing day, my friend and myself decided to meet up on a cafe and we talked about writing stories. I told her, hey yo, I have this imagination in my mind and I really want to make it into a story or maybe a film. And she was like, okay, so what's the problem? I told her I'm too scared to share my story, and just like,
no, write the story or you will go to hell with me.
That's how my first feature screenplay was born. Now, what is waiting for you? So basically, it is a boy-girl relationship that gets complicated when the boy secretly falls in love with the girl. And it needs years, I mean decades, for the girl to finally realize that he's the one. It's about two young best friends, Sam Holland and Jamie Baker. So they met at high school and just like that, they quickly become best friends. Everything is fine until at one point, Sam Holland hit the switch and he realized that she's the one. Jamie Baker is the girl that he wants to marry. But the problem is, Sam never really tells Jamie that he loves her, and it's getting more complicated throughout the time. Every time Sam wants to tell Jamie about it, something bad always happens to them. So that's the quick plot. So moving on. One of my main dreams is to direct my own movie, but that is all ambition. What I'm talking right now is action. My ambition is to direct my own movie, and my action is I wrote my first screenplay. But after I wrote my screenplay, that is not enough because people need to know my work, right? And I need to share my screenplay to anyone else that can read my screenplay. So recently I just submitted my screenplay, waiting for you into Page International Screenwriting Award. Fingers crossed, hope that I can win! The last thing is to learn how to direct a film. That's why this channel exists. I will share every film that I made and I will make this channel as my film diary. In your life, you need ambition and action. What is your ambition? Figure it out. I know it needs time for you to figure out your ambition, but once you know what is your ambition, please do some action. Because without action, your ambition will not come true, and without ambition, you cannot do any action. Now, while I'm waiting for the result of my first screenplay, what am I going to do? I'm currently writing my second feature screenplay. It's called Scarface. So basically, it is a story about a psycho killer who seeks a revenge to an FBI agent by manipulating the agent's ex-girlfriend. To make it clear, so the psycho killer kidnapped the agent's ex-girlfriend, and basically the killer made her amnesia. So she cannot remember anything, and she cannot even remember her ex-boyfriend. So they together, they want to kill the agents. So I still cannot tell you furthermore about it because it's not done yet and I want to keep it for myself for now, okay? For now. I will tell you about it if I finish the screenplay. Personally, for me, it's not too hard for me to write a stories because I had this structured imagination already in my mind. So I just need to pour everything out in a piece of paper. Here, this is my idea book for my screenplay. What makes it harder is sometimes you need to do research, like in my case in Waiting for You, I need to do research about head trauma, DNR order, and to find this location, specific location, I use Google Street View and Google Maps because I'm in Indonesia and the location I'm using is in the America, so I need to use that to look for some location. And yeah, that's my story on how making a screenplay. It is even harder with Scarface because there is a lot of things that I didn't know before, like guns, like special force, FBI. I mean, like these are the things that I never learned before. I even need to learn about things like sedative, like drugs, everything like that, and it blew my mind. I am so exhausted doing this research, collecting this information just for this screenplay. But I really like it because I can pour everything in my imagination, in my mind. I can pour it everything out, and I'm happy to do it. The second thing that makes it hard is you have to keep on reviewing it. Like in my case in Waiting for You, I have been reviewing the screenplay for like more than 6 months, I think. I finished the first draft in July, and after that I keep on reviewing it even until now. Even after I submitted my screenplay into a competition, I'm still reviewing it because sometimes, most of the times, I read it again and I feel like this is bad. I need to, write it again, write the stories again, find the perfect match for the scene, everything until it feels perfect for me, and then I'll stop. And one thing I have to tell you is, when you're writing stories and you feel like your brain is not working anymore, it's okay, because all of the writers feels the same too. That is the normal experience that you will get. You are working on the same stories every single day to find the perfect match, and that's exhausting. All I can say is that is really, really exhausting. So relax, just take your time and write your stories when you got an idea. Before I sign off from this video, I just want to share some of the bloopers from the blindfold challenge. I think it is a funny one, so roll the clip. But other than that, you toilet people are awesome. And to close this episode, I want to quote something that Dan May said in his video. He said that film is actually a music. It's not for the ear, but it's actually for the eyes. And I will see you again in a funny paper.